What's up, everybody? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you guys are around the world. Welcome to coverage of the Thailand National Championship. Today, we got a great game for you guys. With me in the casting booth is my good friend and one of the best players in the whole world, Allen Lau. Allen, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here to cast the Thailand National Championship. How about you, Josh?
I'm doing well. Just for the record, I know people have always asked, "Hey, Josh, are you Allen's brother?" We are not, but we are both, maybe several generations ago, maybe our great grandmother was the same. I don't know. Well, we both think about the game in the same way. So, there are several Laos around the world. There's like some in Singapore, some in the US, and some in Hong Kong. But enough about that. Today we are casting the grand finals of the 2023 Thailand National Championship. We got a great game for you guys. We have Wheatrun playing Azuri, and we have Chanon playing Lexi. So that is a exciting finals. That is a matchup that I think is actually quite dynamic. There's a lot of decision making to be made. Allen, I know that you have played a little bit of Azuri and Lexi, so you have quite a bit of experience, I think, on both sides here. What are you thinking about this matchup here?
I think generally people may think this is very desperate matchup for the Lexi, but I think good Lexi can avoid something such as playing and not putting just spending all the cards in their turns, avoiding they switch CNC, and also they will play around their stuff. And generally, I think is the best way to beat usually is not dragging into the long game. So if I'm the Lexi, then I will play a 60 deck with because my list have 3 Arctic Incursion.
The red version, right?
Yeah. And those card is very good. And also mentioned that hamstring shot makes an important role in this matchup.
Yep.
Because it avoids usually to play a card and then switch. Yeah.
Yeah, Azuri is actually one of those decks very, very similar to Briar. They really want to operate on a very efficient curve. They don't want to be pitching for things. In general, they're not even going to be using Spider's Bite. They're going to be using They're going to be using 2 cards to defend, to block important on hits from Lexi, and then try to send a disruptive 2-card hand back at the Lexi. So I think there's a lot of, you mentioned several cards that we need to be looking out for: Command and Conquer, Leave No Witnesses, Shakedown. These are all very, very powerful cards that could be very, very impactful. However, like you said, the Lexi does have the ability to play around to some degree a lot of these effects by simply, either not having anything in Arsenal to target, or by actually just blocking 6 and saying, well, 3 of a kind is a very good card, even if I don't have 4 cards in hand. So I think there's going to be a lot of play from Lexi here. On the other side, Azuri does have some tricks, though. Like, we're probably going to see Flick Knives, which is a card that's going to be able to push through some damage there. Depending on if the Lexi's running Frailty Trap as well, that could be something that comes into play. But yeah, I do agree that on paper this was considered one of the counters to Lexi. But as we learned in the last 6 months, Alan, the best counter to Lexi is Lexi.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're going to be getting this game started pretty soon. Anyways, there's also the consideration that I believe the Lexi player is higher seed as well. So there's going to be the ability to choose to go first or second here. If you were Lexi, which one would you be prioritizing here?
I think let's see. Let's see. The players always want to go second because the ability of Voltaire can load, and it generates value even you are going second. So yeah, I can't wait to see how the match is going, and I'm pretty confident that Leslie should pick second in every matchup.
There is some risk on turn 0 if there's like a spider's bite and then they just pass priority. All right, so here we go. We're jumping into the game here. Like I said, we have Rune playing Azuri Switchblade, and we have Chenon playing Lexi. Lexi is the higher seed here, and this is the grand finals. So look at those beautiful playmats. That looks real good.
Yeah.
All right. Looks like Lexi is going first here. So go, starting off with Codex of Inertia here. Pretty powerful. Azuri can't really utilize. Generally, Azuri wants to put something in Arsenal. So this is basically, converting some of our cards into Spider Spites here. And we're going to start off with 3 of a kind here on turn 0. So here we go.
Yep. I think Leslie is going second, right? Because usually already
Arsenal. Oh yeah, you're right. Yep. You're right. So yeah, I just saw Lexi has an Arsenal here as well. My bad. Okay, so this is actually this is Lexi's turn here. All right, so Codex of Inertia into 3 of a kind here, flipping over a Bolton shot. So on these 3 of a kind turns, Alan, what are we kind of looking for here on the Lexi side here?
Yeah, I think since let's see pitch Codex of Rarity, I think the best ratio hand is drawing 1 blue and 2 red, and you are always looking for the red arrows from 3 of a kind.
Yep. Unfortunately, this is not it's not, but still okay. Frostlock, still a decently powerful arrow, even though this was not fused here.
Yes. So I think shooting the 4th slot means he's properly drawing the 3 boosts.
Yep. And that's a little bit of the variance here is that 3 of a kind is a very, very powerful card, but sometimes you draw 3 blues, sometimes you don't draw an arrow. So we've seen that Lexi has started to build their deck a little bit more streamlined so that they don't miss on 3 of a kinds. Is there anything surprising about the equipment suite here, or does this look fairly standard to you?
Personally, I'm quite surprised of the trench choice, because I think let's see, without Tunic might weaken his powerful turn, because a good curve that acquires you use the Tunic to shoot the arrows, and I understand why he want to play trench in this matchup, because it can play around the command and conquer. But I also think that this matchup is quite unfavored for Leslie. That you have to give up some.
You have to take some risks. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to take some risks.
One of the interesting things about trench is that, if you see that disruption is coming, you can trench away your arsenal, one of your arsenals, and then you can use that energy to load Voltaire. So you kind of have you can kind of shift your arrow resources from one turn to another turn. So I think there's it's not a bad card, but I do agree that Tunic does have a little bit more burst potential here. So overall, this is a fairly weak 3 of a kind turn, assuming that Wheatrun doesn't let any of these Bolton shots hit here. But looks like the first Bolton shot is inconsequential because he already has an arsenal. So this is the one that he has to block here, assuming that Chenon has a card in hand.
I think Chenon doesn't have any card here because he discard a card from the Codex of Inertia. And so this is a very weak turn from let's see, consider there's no essential hit effect in this turn. And if I can utilize forehand from Usury, I will happy to take this red potent shot.
On the other side, it looks like we have a come to fight there. We saw Command and Conquer, and I think that's an isolate as well. So this is actually a really good hand here. Of course, there's a little bit of anti-synergy between the isolate and come to fight. But we'll see how Wheatroon wants to play this out here. All right, so Lexi's going to pass back the turn, and going to go to 2 here. And this is kind of a use it or lose it turn here because of the inertia token that Chenon so graciously gifted him. So it looks like we're going to go come to fight here. This could just be so this could be Death Touch into Command and Conquer here with the Snapdragons.
So I think Wheatroon this turn is very likely to play this Death Touch and then followed by the Snap, and then play another come to fight, another 9 Command and Conquer, which is very disruptive for the lessee.
Yep. So Death Touch by itself is already one of the most disruptive cards because Azuri is almost certainly going to give you a Frailty token, which Frailty tokens are worth anywhere from 2 to 4 value here. And there we see the Snapdragons. And I think, did 1 damage leak through here? Because he gave him a token.
I think he took 3 because come to fight buffs the Death Touch.
Oh yeah,
3.
okay, 9 against 6. Yep. You're right. Okay, so here comes the Command and Conquer here. Now Lexi decks don't actually Lexi decks nowadays block pretty well because they have a lot of 3 blocks, and hey, there's some armor there as well. We're gonna reveal an arrow, gonna ping Wheatroon for 1. He's gonna drop to 27 here, and Lexi having access to 3 block on the armor coming in clutch here. And I think that's a Blood Rot token, which I think is better if you normally when you play Death Touch, you're going to be giving them a Frailty token, but because he knew that he was going to strip all the cards from his hand, he didn't need to. All right, well, back-to-back 3 of a kinds, Alan. This is pretty good, right?
Yeah, but consider that he is using the trench to pay this 3 of a kind, which makes the 3 of the kind look much less scary because
he has to basically draw blue plus 2 arrows to even have like a vanilla 2 arrow turn here.
Yeah, as a usury, I'm happy that their 3 of a kind doesn't link with their ring raisers or some premeditate ice quick effect. And given that the first 2 turn he already used 2 3 of a kind, I think it looked good in the usury side.
So Searing Shot here is one of the cards that almost every aggro and mid-range deck disrespects. But Azuri does like the game to kind of slow down a little bit. Gonna wait for the right disruption effects here. So Wheatroo is contemplating whether or not to throw 2 cards in front of this. I think that's fine. You know, it essentially turns your one of your cards into a 2-block, but that's okay. I think Azuri has to really pick her spots very, very carefully. So there's a little bit of a life deficit here for Azuri, but there not everything is doom and gloom here. Several power cards have been used from Lexi. Several of the armor pieces have been used. So we'll see how this goes. So Alan, Codex of Inertia is a card that Lexis have been favoring against decks like Icelander. Can you talk a little bit about why you would bring this card in against decks like Azuri?
I think because Azuri is hard to utilize their hand, and if what's their arsenal is usually a good card, so give them inertia, force them to use their card in their turn, and also when Usuri is have no arsenal, then making Usuri discard is also really good because they only have 1 Crown of Providence chance to swap their arsenal. Even though they put for example, like a shakedown, it's still very hard for them to give up the tempo to play the shakedown, and then I mean just every card besides the 0 cost is they have to give up some tempo to clean their arsenal. Yep. So I think Codex of Inertia is pretty good against them. At the slower deck.
One of the things that I guess one of the comeback mechanics that Azuri can utilize here is Codex of Frailty. So that's definitely a card that Azuri is running, and I think we have a Codex in hand. I'm not exactly sure. That looks like a Codex. So I think we could have a Spider's Bite into a Codex, getting back something like it would have to be a 0 cost or a 1 cost here. Actually, it could be anything. It has Tunic. it could be anything. Obviously, Shakedown though requires an attack reaction to be played, so probably not going to get that one back. But several options.
Yeah.
So Spider's Bite here, one of the fairly annoying here, and fairly telegraphed what's coming next.
Yeah. I think it's small habits that you can notice. If your opponent is playing Ranger or Assassin, and then they look through their graveyard, there is probably like they are having Codex of Frailty, and then maybe you can plan for that.
Exactly. Yeah. Same thing with the Singing Steelblade.
Yeah,
that's why I've started to just check my graveyard just randomly just to make them nervous. All right, so here we go. Codex of Frailty here, and so Lexi's gonna have to discard a card, and he's gonna get back something. Looks like a Sleep Dart. Gonna be the card of choice here. And as for Wheatrune, he's gonna go with Command and Conquer here. So it's going to be using the Tunic here to play CNC. But the CNC doesn't, like, there's nothing in, there will be something in Arsenal. So that's actually pretty good here.
Yeah.
So now something very interesting is that Wheatrune has to reveal that he's picking CNC first, right? Before Chenon picks. So he might change his mind here on what he wants.
Yeah, maybe he wants to pick something he doesn't mind to get destroyed.
Yeah, it's like Blue Frost Lock or something. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm just gonna set up a little bit on this turn. All right, so another thing to consider is that with the Spider's Bite poison active, it's basically impossible to block efficiently. And even like, let's say you pick a very good arrow, put it into arsenal, and then you discard a card to codex, and then you like triple block the command and conquer, you're still opening yourself up to disruption on the next turn, which is which could be just as bad. So it looks like he's going to triple block here, and basically saying, let's hope you don't get lucky on your next 4-card hand. But I think, most Uzuri decks are built such that they're going to have some disruption. So let's see. Although a lot of the best disruption does start with something like isolate, so he'd have to draw, isolate plus a disruptive card. So that's not a guarantee there.
Yeah. Ooh. See.
Gonna flick knives here. But does that do anything after blocks?
I don't think so. And I think the Uzuri player maybe it's better to save it for future, because he still have shakedown, and then if you use the spite, then you have no weapon left.
Yep. All right. So going to take some damage and arsenal a random card from the ponder. And all right, so Lexi here is ceding tempo here, and draws a couple of endless arrows here. So this is a very, very important turn here. Let's see how he wants to play this out. Another thing is that, like, why I don't really like using the flick knives there is that, like, let's say you draw a hand with like a bunch of blues. Like, the best way to utilize it is like, attack with one weapon, attack with the other weapon. That's decent, right? Let's see how he wants to do this. 5-card hands here for Uzuri generally are a little bit clunky to use, especially without Snapdragons. So let's see how he wants to do it here. He's going to pitch a card here. Going to start off with Spider's Bite here. And Lexi says, no blocks, down to 32.
It's very hard to block this annoying dagger. And
yeah, it's very, very, very difficult. The only good thing is that generally, that's a real good card there. Looking for scrap here.
Okay, so that's why maybe he want to use the fake knights there.
Yeah. To have a low cost or low power thing in the graveyard. Very, very heads up play there from Wheatrun. Very, very cool. Looking for scrap, a real good card here. Really, really powerful in limited, as we found out during Outsiders, and also equally powerful here. And is that the one that gives a frailty?
Yeah, but it's probably like to be switched there. Yeah. So
this I think if you're Chenon, could this just be a 6 block here, kind of throw an endless arrow? Or actually, he doesn't have enough energy for that. If that's the case, you might just have to single card block this and say, "Do you got it?" It looks like he's gonna block for 6 here, and that's just gonna that's probably just gonna be the end of the turn here.
Yeah, I think
unless Uzuri has some attack reactions.
Ooh. Okay.
So something like shred into a swap would be real good. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Alan, but most Uzuris are not running that many attack reactions. Like, the attack reactions are mainly for Arachne.
Yeah, I think mostly they will run is the shred
Yeah, the yellow shred, sometimes the blue shred. So it looks like he's gonna pass the turn here. So he's only gonna draw 3 here because he had 1 card left over there. And so he's gonna trench here, gain a resource, and use that to load an endless arrow and fire a pretty efficient turn here, especially considering that it comes in for 5. So this is gonna, ensure that Lexi has an arsenal, or it's going to get some tempo back. Little bit of tempo, bit by bit here. But Azuri with the correct hand is totally fine, just blocking 2. Looks like we've got a CNC E-Strike here, Death Touch, and I think that's looking for scrap at the bottom there. So if I were rerun, I think I'm just blocking 5 here and playing E-Strike, although that doesn't feel great.
Yeah, I think blocking 5 is the correct choice here, because you can't let the endless arrow hit.
Yep.
It's just like a snatch could repeatedly draw itself, which is not great.
Yeah, that's a really great way to look at it, Alan. That endless arrow is a snatch that blocks for 3, and it finds itself again and again and again. And it could, there could be more than 3 copies in a deck if you just let it hit and hit and hit. Yeah. So saving, a lot of the arrows come in at breakpoints, so it's like I'm very interested to see what Wheatrunner is going to use his armor on, because he basically has the ability to block 3 breakpoints during this game with Flick Knives, Tunic, and Providence here. And I don't feel like this is one of those where he really wants to. Okay, looks like he's considering blocking with the E-Strike here. So this could be so he could have like a starter in the arsenal and then swap in the CNC here. But there's nothing in arsenal to attack with the CNC, so I'm a little bit confused here. Let's see what he blocks with. This will probably make more sense once it goes back to his turn. So it looks like yep,
he's blocking 6 here.
Yep. All right, so back to Lexi. Lexi has no arsenal here. Just going to draw 4 here. Back over to Azuri's side, Tunic to 2. And we're going to start off with Spider's Bite here, pitching 2 cards for the Spider's Bite.
Oh, it's a yellow Death Touch there. Okay.
Okay, that makes some more sense there. So this means there's a Codex in Arsenal, right?
Yeah, it's very likely.
Yep, there we go. Okay. All right, so that I think this play is a little bit more. I don't know. Would you have preferred the E-Strike and then sit on the Codex, or are you more of a try to wrestle tempo now, give them a frailty token now type of thing?
Personally, I will take the route that I block 5 and then play the E-Strike. But I think because Leslie don't have Arsenal, so you give him
frailty
double
token.
Frailty, wasn't that impactful, but it's still okay because Codex of Frailty is very powerful, and then it gets better in Ponder deck. Yep.
Yeah, and if he sends Death Touch here and Lexi doesn't block, you can always give them a Blood Rot perhaps or Inertia token. I don't think this is the turn to give them double frailty.
And then one interesting thing is the Leslie still don't have any good targets for the Codex of Frailty, because the Infecting Shot or the Hissika or some most impactful arrow haven't come out yet.
Yeah, it's very, very odd. We haven't seen a Heat Seeker yet. So he's going to block for 5 here. Or 4 because of Spider's Bite, yep.
Yep.
And Bloodrot going to be going over to the other side there. So, Weaver's been doing real well the last couple turns, getting the tempo back slowly but surely here. His life has not moved much in the last couple turns. Okay, we got a pre-med into a drill shot here. So this is going to be for 6, I think, because he has a frailty token.
Yeah.
So this should be a fairly easy block here.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to give the Lexi a card here.
Yeah, it's very smooth for the usually entering the block 2 and then pay to cast tempo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've seen that Lexi, after those first 3 of a kinds, has been having some issues, getting back into the cycle that Lexi really wants to be in, where she basically can, have a very, very large and uninterrupted turn. Azuri is, one of those characters that really, really denies a 5-card hand, or 6-card in the case of Lexi. All right, so looks like we're going to block it out there, and so the Blood Rot's going to tick him down to 24, and we're back in a favorable position here. Isolate, one of the greatest cards in Azuri's deck. Dominate plus an effect here. We see the first Azuri activation here, face down, going to be face up here, and we got a surgical extraction here. And that is going to be real, real, real good here. Looks like we got a Rain Razors in hand here. Okay, so looks like he's going to take it here. And looks like the surgical extraction here probably going to take one of the... there's several considerations here. So we got Rain Razors. I think that's a yellow bolt and shot. Falcon Wing plus Remorseless here. Remorseless is the most powerful card. Falcon Wing allows for a 3-arrow hand. Rain Razors is just good. And then Bolt and Shot, Bolt and Shot, I guess, is the resource card here.
Yeah.
I think you're probably taking the... I'm not actually sure. What would you take here with Surgical?
Personally, I would take Ring Razors, because it stops the Lexi of planting a huge turn next after the Ring Razor turn. But I can also see he's because Lexi don't have any blue pitch, so it's very hard to utilize his hand with a 1-cost arrow, which which I have mentioned before, how important is the tunic in this matchup.
Tunic, the tunic makes a lot of hands go from like just average to amazing. Looks like Wheatrun is really contemplating here. It's a big decision here.
Yeah. I get it. It's national finals, so yeah.
And take your time here. And of note, he has surpassed the Lexi in terms of health. He has just been a brick wall here at 22 life, saying, I've had enough of your shenanigans. I've gotten tempo, and I'm not going to give it back. And that's one of the really cool things about Azuri is that once she gets you into that play pattern, or that not really board state, but game state, it just becomes so hard to get out of it. And that's, one of the coolest things about Azuri.
Just
deciding
have to
here.
mention that field turn before is 34 against 22, I guess.
Yep.
And then just a field turn, and then the usually turn the corner back, and then he caught.
And we're seeing, like, against decks that don't have interaction here. Lexi would just say, all right, I'm 15 health ahead. That's fine. I'm just going to block out, set up, a Falcon Wing or a Rain Razors or whatever into Arsenal. And then I'm going to have a 6-card turn, probably put you to like 5, and then close the game out from there. Looks like Rain Razor is going to be the choice there. He's going to agree with you. And going to give back the Remorseless and Falcon Wing here. And back to Lexi here. Gonna probably load the Remorseless and fire it, set up the Falcon Wing for a potential 3-arrow turn. But we're in this position where it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna block 6 and send something back at you. It looks like we have a shred. So that's pretty good here. Remorseless, the text on Remorseless isn't too bad. It just says, pay an extra life here for Azuri, I guess.
Yeah, it's one. It's usually against Uzuri. It's usually a 1-cost searing shot.
Yep.
Or even worse. But
I think Weerune's hand is just a hand that doesn't quite have a switch target here. Is that a Fate Foreseen at the bottom? I can't quite tell. But I think he has 2 starters, a Shred and a Fate Foreseen, which is not quite what you want here. This might be where we need to see the Crown used, maybe, depending on the texture of the hand. Also depends on what's in Arsenal as well. Yeah.
I saw one Spreading Pledge in their hand.
Oh, yeah, that's a spicy card. That's a card that gives a good amount of burst damage if you can get them to block, but it's not a guarantee that he's going to block here. I think this hand is just awkward here. The Fate Foreseen is becoming real awkward here against Remorseless here.
Yeah.
And from the Lexi's point of view, the fact that Azuri has not made a quick decision here means the Azuri's hand is not that great. If there was an obvious line of block 6, send something, switch something in, he would have taken it already here. So this is the ebb and flow of flesh and blood here. Rerun was ahead, or was behind, and then has been having a great 4 or 5 turns here in the mid game, but drawing a hand that is a little bit lackluster here on offense. He's just gonna have to make it work here. Probably gonna give, and he knows that the Lexi's gonna set up a Falcon Wing in Arsenal. So this is a pretty painful turn to not have disruption here, because if the Lexi draws a very, very good hand here. Oh, I guess Remorseless is you can't play D-Reacts from Arsenal. Or am I thinking of the wrong card? Okay, so D-Reacts from hand is okay. All right, so Fate Foreseen here. Gonna put this on top or bottom here, because he knows he's gonna draw it next turn here. So is this good enough? That is a question.
Seems like it's good enough.
Yep, good enough. Gonna keep it on top. And back to Lexi, or back to Azuri. And I don't think he can present very much disruption this turn. And that's an Art of War. Oh, and a Codex. So this is going to be a pretty big turn here from Chenon. I don't think there's anything Azuri can do. So I think if your opponent is going to Arsenal a Falcon Wing and potentially have a ridiculous 5-card hand, and you don't have disruption here, would you have blocked with the Crown? Like Crown plus Fate Foreseen?
Personally, I want to save the Crown for the bad ponder target if I drew, but since Uzuri already used 2 Codex Authority, if I'm correct.
Yep.
I think
I think he's used 2.
I think you can give up Crown much easier, But also on the other side, that let's see, haven't paid a single codex.
Yeah.
So giving up your arsenal in the incorrect time might be very costly. So
Yeah.
so right now we can see that usually players look through their graveyard again. So
Yeah.
maybe there's a possible that there's third
Yeah.
codex of verity.
So we saw that Lexi runs Codex of Frailty plus Codex of Inertia. Does Azuri want the effects of Codex of Inertia, or is that not quite what she wants?
I think generally you want to catch them to discard a card, and then card blocks your relevant arrows,
Mm-hmm.
and so do the Codex of Inertia. But okay, so back to the usury turn, he play a Electric Strike from
Arsenal.
the arsenal, and
Yep.
it I think is much better than swinging the Spider Bites and then pass.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I don't think that card in hand is very good. I think it's just going to be put into Arsenal for a crown activation here. And
okay, so
Lexi going to give up one card here.
We see a top pitch here, which is not useful right now, but it's very good if you can catch a good target. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's not too many go again targets, and target check must trigger by the go again effect. So right now it's just a block free here.
Yep. Especially with the Snapdragons gone, the chance that that's actually going to trigger is very, very low. Well, looks like Lexi here is going to take 4, go to 16 here. And I think Ruru's health is about to move here because for the first time in, it seems like 6 turns, Alan, he now has a good 4-card hand here. Going to start the turn off with a Falcon Wing from Arsenal coming in for 3 go again here.
Yep. And also his hand has the Codex of Inertia and the Auto 4. And I see is another Bolton shot. So generally, I think saving the target check for pitching might seems better here.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends what you think you're going to draw off of the Art of War here.
Seems like he don't have Art of War target. So
yeah, that's unfortunate. So just gonna go into a Codex of Inertia after the Rain Razors play here. Gonna create a Ponder token for himself and an Inertia token for Ryurn. And did he find a suitable target to get a buff with the Rain Razors? He did. Unfortunately, this doesn't really have any text. It's just vanilla damage here. But Codex of Inertia is one of the ways that we've seen him use. We've seen Shannon use to get the tempo back over the game or over the course of a few turns. So this, that Inertia token looks very innocent here, but getting the Azuri off an Arsenal, getting a position where the Azuri has to take an on-hit effect here to send something back is a very, very important game state here. So the good thing, though, for Ryurn is that he's going to be able to utilize his hand perfectly here because he knows that the Inertia token is coming. So he's going to be able to, make sure that he does not end up with a dead card here. which means his life total probably is not going to move that much here.
Ooh.
Crown of Providence here. I also probably expect a card from hand here because I don't see how he utilizes a 5-card hand unless it's like looking for scrap, E-strike, shred. Looks like he's just going to throw the crown in front of it. He's going to take 4 here. And nope. Okay, take 0 here. Sink below, going to shut this down. And he's going to have a 4-card hand here to work with. But he has to use his whole hand here. And let's see his hand.
I saw a shakedown plus a shred.
Yep, that's pretty good. And I think we're probably going to start off with a spider's bite here. Yep, spider's bite here, going to come in. Going to make this, and that's one of the scariest things ever. You see him pitch a shred.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, so Alexi says no blocks here. It goes down to 15, and Ice or Wither here saying, yeah, block for 6. There's a lot of mind games here because you block 6 here after he pitches a shred. It feels real bad, right? Looks like he's going to swap a card in here, playing around the shred. And going to flip into shakedown here. Unfortunately, that last card can't be arsenaled here. I mean, it can be arsenaled, but he's going to won't effectively be able to use it on the next turn. And Lexi here drops into single digits, Alan, down to 9.
Yeah, it's
and
very dangerous.
Yeah, we got a shakedown here. I guess he chose red. So now he gets to choose a card and banish a card of the chosen color. So I think we have a sleep dart, heat seeker, and Bolton shot. I think
is a infecting.
Oh, infecting shot. My bad. Yeah.
And then the ferocity shot. So ferocity shot basically does nothing against usury, and I think personally you will rip off the heat seeker because I valued a card much higher than a blood rod in a Lexi deck because most of the cards they are above average. And given that, I think ripping off the heat seeker is the best choice here.
Yeah, I think either one will be pretty decent here. This could be a 3-arrow turn though from the Lexi though, because I think Lexi does have enough resources to, depending on what's still in arsenal. I think that's something that he has to take into consideration here. Is if he.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm definitely not picking this one here. You can have it back. Here we go. Tough choice here.
I can see why he put a 30 shot in his deck, even though it does nothing against usury. I think it's because he is afraid that usury can fatigue him with the banishing effect. But so I have to talk again that I think this matchup is very unfavored for the Lexi, so that you have to sacrifice. You have to take the risk and pay the 60 to get much linear deck.
You need your 3 of a kinds. You need your rain razors ASAP. You need them to be full strength. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we see an ice quick here, which is
pretty good.
Which is a very important card against usury because even one force spike can stop them to playing stealth card.
Yep. So taking the tunic resource here tells him that he has a D-react here. Yep.
And
So
then is once more once I think in this game there's 3 to 4 example that how important is the tunic, because
yeah.
if you're holding
Yep.
a 1 cost arrow, then a tunic with a blue can solve a thing.
Mm-hmm. So depending on the texture of Weavern's hand, this could be a 3 block plus a D react plus 2 armor pieces here if he wants to maintain some pressure. If not, this is just going to be a 3 card block here, probably with the D react, since he took the tunic resource already.
Yep. So it's pretty unfortunate for the Charlon. He haven't seen a single Codex of Verity yet.
Yeah. It's real rare. We're on like turn 8 or 9 here at least, and it's still hasn't seen one. And looks like the armor plus the 3 block plus a D react, I think is going to be the order of choice here. So that's 7 block. 5 block plus 4 here is 9. And Fate Foreseen, is it good enough?
I think he got 1 Codex of Verity get banished by the surgical extraction from the top. Mm-hmm. And then I think he pitched 1 as the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
so well, there's one there. And backstab. Do you just have to block 6 here? I think you do, right?
I think I saw his hand might be 3 2-block hands.
That's real painful here.
Yeah.
But you saw him give up his armor though, so I mean he has it, right? So, and there's a surgical extraction here. Ugh.
I think Charlon, he's taking the right choice here, but just very unfortunate. He hold a it's 4. Okay, so it's 2 Codex of 2 Codex and then 1 Premeditate and then
an arrow
shot here.
Yeah. So there was no good way to block this, unfortunately. He could have gave his trench up though. He could have went maybe drill shot plus a card. But it's just tricky all around here. All right, so from the Azuri's point of view here, are you gonna take the arrow or are you gonna take away the Codex of Frailty here? Or are you thinking about the others?
Always a Codex of Frailty, because the premeditates wasn't very impactful right here. If they get to pay a Codex follow-up, so they have 2 ponders, and that's not very useful for 2 ponders. And Codex of Verity is most broken card in the Let's See deck, and I'm very happy to take them. With the surgical extraction.
Yeah, surgical extraction here doing a lot of work this game, banishing 1 off the top and then grabbing another from the hand here. Did he draw 2 codexes at the same time? Frailty?
Yeah.
That's a marvel there. It's real tough to discern the marvels.
I just saw the right bottom corner. Is it he random banished last 3 of a kind from the?
Yes. Yeah. The last 3 of a kind is in the banish zone now.
Yeah. So he's those random banish was guess.
Yes. Cutting down 2 of your opponent's most powerful cards here. Real good here. I think there might be 2 Codex of Frailties here. I think that's.
I think there's a Codex of Inertia of the Marvel version.
I don't know what those look like. Those are too expensive for me, and I don't play Ranger, so I'll take your word on it. Okay, so I think you're just gonna have to rip the Codex of Frailty here, and just say, you know what? I don't know what your arsenal is, but I hope that it's not playable with this hand.
I think he knows, right? He knows about the Heat Seeker. If I'm
does he know the Heat Seeker in Arsenal? Okay, so he has Heat Seeker in Arsenal. Okay. Well, that makes this a very, very complicated situation then. Real interesting here. Let's see what Rerun decides to take here. Once again, this is the 2023 Thailand National Championship Grand Finals here. And we got a pretty good game here between these two players here. Lots of back and forth, showing off a lot of the intricacies of this match. And right now, I think Alan, I think it's safe to say that the Azuri is in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, I think usually I think Lassie player, they have to take a turn to say no block to the stealth card, and then just hope they didn't get a card to switch to combat, and otherwise, this 12 life point deficit can make Usuri to no block a turn, and then catching up. Just very unfortunately, Leslie doesn't have any Fear of a kind to catch up. Oh,
well, he's taking the drill shot. Interesting choice. Okay, he's gonna leave him with 2 codexes and a pre-med here. And I think Chenon you have to be kind of happy with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We have the frailty shot here.
Yeah. He take the Hisika. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he took the arrow here, but he knows that this arrow does not have go again here. He does not have snapdragons here. He didn't even bring snapdragons for this matchup. So we just got pre-med codex here. Gonna grab something, and then has to be 0 cost here.
Yeah, it's very likely to be a red potent shot here, because it's the best card to give it go again.
Yep. Yep. So gonna load red Bolton shot here. Gonna fire that off. So we got pre-med into the frailty shot here, and this is pretty good, right? Like this is as good as it gets off of this turn here. It's gonna be able to end the turn with well, I presume that Weerun does not care if he gets a second ponder token here. So depending on how disruptive or good Azur's hand is, he may just keep it here.
I think I saw some solid switch target here, and maybe Weerun can find a stealth card in his graveyard. Of course, the best is the isolate, and let's see, does he get it?
Yeah. This is still a little bit tricky though, right? Because Lexi does have the ability to block for 6, even on dominated attacks here, because New Horizons throw it in for 2, and then Trench throw it in for 1. You actually get 6 block here. We've got a Sync, a CNC, and not sure what the others are.
I think it's a isolate, and then and then a Ferrity stealth one.
Sure. So He's going to have to discard here. That's going to make this turn kind of painful here. But he does have, a little bit of a life lead here to work with. He could put something into Arsenal. Maybe without Tunic, Death Touch becomes much worse. I guess Leave No Witnesses would be the best target here, but I don't see any copies of that. Maybe, Leave No Witnesses is so powerful, though, that I think you run Leave No Witnesses, right? I think he just hasn't seen them.
I think there's one copy in the graveyard.
Okay.
And then if he pick a stealth card, then he is very likely to block more here. If he pick the let's say the Leave No Witnesses or other go against target, then he's planning for another turn. But given that he is quite leading in this situation, I think it's not too bad to pick a card to develop a further game state here.
Yeah. So one of the things we have to keep in mind is that we know that Lexi does not have any more 3 of a kinds. He's used 2 Rain Razors. I think used 2 or 3 Codex as a frailty. So, in terms of power cards to close the game, Lexi does not really have access to those. We're just going to be seeing, 2 arrow hands generally from now on. And that is going to open up a lot of opportunities for Uzuri to win this game. So we're still resolving the Codex of Frailty here.
Okay, he take the best step, I guess.
Yep. And it looks like he's just going to block out here a little bit. And then he's going to backstab into CNC, I presume, because, CNC is a totally fine Arsenal target. And across comes Bolton Shot here. And I don't think...
I think now the choice of user is whether he want to keep the Sink Pillow in the arsenal.
Yep, exactly. I think you have to play the Sink here because there's a risk that Lexi blocks 6, and then you would be stuck with Command and Conquer and Sink below, and then that'd be inefficient there. So I think, we're in.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Gonna go with this here. So double ponder gonna trigger here, and he's gonna select 1 to put in Arsenal. Ironically, though, he might put the worst card in Arsenal because he might be playing around CNC here. We'll see here.
He also can trench right here. So
yep. So, and then he's good. So so he has the Art of War as well. Okay, so that's definitely not a card you want in Arsenal. And all right, so we have our starter here. Our stealth starter from Missouri, and we know that there's a Command and Conquer in hand here.
Yeah, I think it might be a good chance to block with the New Horizon, and then use the trench to load. Maybe go again arrows here, hopefully.
Yeah. If he has he can also. It doesn't have to be a go again arrow because he can play Art of War, go again mode plus Banish Draw 2 mode. So that's a possibility here. But I do like blocking with the New Horizon here because he does have Art of War here. That will basically the way that Chanon could come back is he drops to 1 or 2, and then he's able to rip cards from Uzuri's hand, and then slowly get back into the game from there. So I really do like the block from the New Horizons here, which would put him at 1. You know, and okay, he's going to give up the trench here. Going to block for 4. Playing around Leave No Witnesses and Surgical, but not playing around Command and Conquer here. And I mean, we have to see a trench activation here.
I think so.
Yeah. And I mean, with 3 cards here, you can't do that play that I was talking about with the Art of War. Oh, he has a Falcon Wing already, so he's okay on the go again. But still, you don't have a. You're just going to use the Art of War for pitch here instead of for its effect. So yeah, All right, so it's going to trench before the combat chain finishes here. It's going to take 2 here, drop down to 3, and he's going to use his floating resource probably to load the Falcon Wing here. And this is going to be a real tough position here for him to come back from. Did he even load here?
No, I think he want to play the R24 or.
Yep, you're right. So he's just gonna play the Art of War here. Banish draw 2 +1 here. Did he find exactly 2 0-cost arrows off the top? Because that's exactly what he needs here. And something that we talk about from time to time, Alan, is that the speed at which you play tells us a lot about your hand.
Yeah.
And it looks like he did not find a suitable hand here. Is he
maybe
counting out his 0 costs here? I think he is counting out his 0-cost arrows here.
Yeah, which very likely giving the message that he have to use his quiver here.
Yep. So we have 4 Bolton shots there. I think a pair of drill shots. A couple other cards there. We've been in this game for a while. Lexi's deck is probably down to about 20 cards here. And here we go. Tar Pit Trap plus Drill Shot. Not going to cut it here. Gonna flip a random card. At least it's a playable arrow.
Okay.
He's going to flip twice there. And all right, so here we go. Pretty good. I mean, Heatseeker is not too bad here. Unfortunately, the Azuri deck does block pretty well here. And this is a very, very face up here. How much to block here? But we're getting down to that position where looks like he says, "I don't care. Have your Winter's Bite in Arsenal. It's fine." And we got a shred in hand. This could be the end of the game, Alan.
Yeah, and he also have a Death Touch here, so
yeah. So here you have to give the New Horizons here to stay alive here. Weerun has been playing a little bit more slowly, and he was pretty quick with that no block there. And here we go. Azuri activation here into Death Touch, shredding the Falcon Wing, and there we go. Azuri takes it. Weerun is your 2023 Thailand national champion. Congratulations to him. Well played from him. And Alan, we saw a very, very, fairly, long story of how that matchup tends to go. So we saw Lexi, have a few powerful turns at the beginning of the game, and we saw how Weerun had to fight back over several turns, to establish a strong board position, and we saw he landed a couple really good surgical extractions, and just whittled the life down and got into a great position to end the game with a shred. Any thoughts on that game?
I think in this matchup, the way that Lassie gets advantage is leading the life point for around 15 to 20. I'm serious, not joking, because the disadvantage of disrupting dominant CNC, some good shakedown, and then surgical extraction. Yeah,
leave no witnesses. Yeah,
and those cards
we saw his health when he got down to 22. It did not move, right? So you said like you need a 15 to 20 life point lead. I can see it now.
Yeah, and then we can also see the power of Codeless of Rarity. I know it's quite boring to say this card again and again, but this game, the usury player, he casts multiple times.
It's nice to see a assassin play it, right? We were like, yeah, okay, when an assassin plays Codex, we don't feel so bad. It's like because their card pool is not quite as strong, right? So it's like, okay, we give you a powerful card, it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, we saw very solid performance there. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. That's definitely a game that if you're interested in picking up a deck for the ProQuest season or the upcoming Bright Light season that counters Lexi, Azuri is definitely up there. One of the decks that you could choose.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been Josh Lau and Allen Lau, bringing you guys coverage of the Thailand National Championship 2023. Any final words, Alan?
I think it's a very great match, and I'm grateful to cut this match.
Yeah, sure. All right. We're gonna get out of here. Good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. We'll see you guys later. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.